All right, fight fans, here we go. Now entering the cage, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the middleweight division. Entering the cage first, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome Jason Edwards.
All right, making the long walk to the Spar Star cage, Jason Edwards. Goes by the Hitman, fighting out of Framp Camp Fight Team. Darnell Walker, his coach, fighting out of South Central LA. Boy believes him, calls himself a striker, Kevin Widows. We've heard that before. But he's making his debut at the age of 28 years old. Seems to have a large contingency of fans here.
Looks like he brought half of South Central with him. Making his way to the cage here, as you said, 0-0 fighter making his debut. Bills himself as a wrestler and a striker, so we'll see what he brings to the cage.
Certainly using a lot of energy before getting into that cage tonight.
We asked him what we can expect to see from him, and he said simply a show.
Jason Edwards primed, pumped, and ready to go. The Commerce Casino here on their feet for this young man as he gets ready to make his amateur debut here in Commerce, California.
Don't know much about Framp Camp Fight Team or Darnell Walker. As you mentioned, he is 28 years old, so I'm not sure how long he's been training.
Candyman over there putting the final Vaseline on the face of Mr. Edwards.
Getting word from the back that Darnell Walker used to be with the Sweet Science Camp, comes from a boxing background, so perhaps that's what we can expect to see from Jason Edwards.
Not a surprise, especially considering the young man said that you can expect a striker tonight, and his nickname is the Hitman, right. So don't expect a lot of jiu-jitsu to be in there in the game plan of Mr. Edwards.
He did list wrestling, though, also as part of his repertoire, so maybe he wrestled in high school. Perhaps it's part of his fight camp. We'll see. I have a feeling he's going to come out and try to look for that early knockout.
Had the chance to get a look at the young man during weigh-ins this morning. Had a comical weigh-in with a little Conor McGregor pose down and shout that caught a couple people off guard. But seemed to be a very nice young man, and he was just really looking forward to putting on a show tonight.
You never can tell with a debut fighter. Sometimes when they come in with a lot of theatrics, it means that they're trying to overcompensate for lack of confidence. Sometimes it means they're very confident. So it'll be interesting to see. He's going up against Ness Vera. Jimmy Fitzgerald about to bring him in now.
And now, entering the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Ness Vera.
Ness Vera coming out of Killer Fight Team and Lycan's Lair, bringing a record of 1-0 to the cage.
Kempo karate background for this young man, Kevin Widows, fighting out of Hawthorne, California. And very much what we've come to see in these amateur fights that are amateur fighters making their first and second appearance inside the cage. He said you can expect the unexpected, Kevin Widows.
Making his way to the cage with a little dance routine there. Looks to be very excited, seems confident. May have a height and reach advantage over Mr. Edwards here. I can't tell till he gets in here, but he looks to be considerably taller.
Apparently it's not enough that these guys are going to fight each other. They have to have a dance-off on the way to the cage. And as far as that's concerned, I'd have to give the edge to Mr. Edwards simply because of the crowd participation. He had much more involvement in his routine.
I agree. Larger entourage, more energy. Shout out to Tracy Hess in the chat room, watching live at home.
OG grappling legend, Tracy Hess.
That's right.
All right, for you guys watching at home, the fight's about to get started, but Kevin and I have already voted. Who do you guys think won the dance-off on the way to the cage? now that the pre-fight routines seem to be out of the way, Kevin, let's send it up to Mr. Jim Fitzgerald so we can get this one violent.
All right, fight fans, here we go. Spar Star MMA is proud to present the 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the middleweight division. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, George Gallegos. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing black trunks. He is fighting out of Frank Camp Fight Team by way of the Crenshaw through Figueroa District. He weighed in 179 pounds. Tonight, he is making his debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jason Hitman Edwards! His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing black trunks trimmed in gray. He is training out of Dream Killer Fight Team and Lycan's Lair MMA by way of Hawthorne, California. He weighed in 185 pounds. His record undefeated, 1 win, no losses, with that win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Ness the Kid Vera! All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the middleweight division.
All right, third man in charge of the action, veteran Camel referee George Gallegos. Getting ready to kick things off here as we jerk the curtain. Spar Star MMA here at Commerce Casino in lovely, with parentheses around it, Commerce, California. All right, here we go. Nice touch of the gloves. Middleweight's getting ready to go here.
Vera already switching stances quickly from southpaw to orthodox. He might be caught in a guillotine here.
Oh, he is.
He pulls guard to get out of it now.
A little bit of a swarm here by Jason Edwards. Ness Vera looking for a leg, but
it's a straight ankle lock attempt. He's got to be careful not to reap the leg.
It's going to be very tough with that shin pad on.
Almost impossible with the shin guard. Vera's stuck in another front headlock here. Trying to get his wits about him, slow this pace down a little bit.
Oh, he's sucking up that guillotine again.
Oh, Edwards just dropped him on his head. This is a great way to break your neck.
Now landing those huge pork chop shots to the body with the left hand.
Edwards still holding on to that front headlock here. Vera seems a little bit overwhelmed, trying to slow this down.
Now looking to land those big left hands again.
Edwards just relentless from the top here. Vera needs to close his guard, slow this fight down, and get it back into his world. Already showing some blood from the nose.
Vera's weathered a bit of a storm here. Now looking for the leg.
Oh,
big left hand smashes. Hulk smash here from Jason Edwards. He's really brought the crowd to life here early in the first round.
Vera looks to be moving in slow motion here as he's taking some big shots from Edwards. Trying to find his wits to get this fight back into his world. Looks like a bulldog choke here from Edwards. This might be it. Vera it looks like more of a neck crank than anything. From our angle, it looked like a bulldog choke.
Not a lot of technique there, pure strength from Jason Edwards.
Edwards may have blown his
but now
wad
he
here.
stepped over into mount. Ness Vera looking to rain down some rain before the end of the round, but all Jason Edwards in that first round.
Vera holds on to get through round 1. Dominant round for Edwards. We'll see how much gas he has left in the tank for round 2. I couldn't really see the angle from where we were on that bulldog choke. It looked to be almost a neck crank, which is not legal. But again, I couldn't really see it.
Jason Edwards wasting very little time, coming out guns blazing here in the first round at Spar Star MMA.
Not sure if I've seen that ring card girl before, but I like her.
Yeah. Very rarely you'll catch me speechless, kids.
Tracy Hess in the chat room remarked that if Edwards had a little bit of ground game, the fight would be over. I agree. It looked like he has some raw submission skills, but was in position a few times to do something.
Yeah, it seemed like he was more relying on his pure strength than technique there. And when you do that, as we've seen before, especially in the amateur ranks, these guys have a tendency to really burn themselves out.
Yeah, Edwards is breathing heavily and leaning against the cage. It's very common for a debut fighter to shoot his wad in that first round. We'll see if he's got energy for this one.
Perhaps a veteran technique, spilling a little ice in the cage to create a little bit more time for the fighter as well. All right, round 2 action, here we go. Can Ness Vera recover after that first round swarm from Jason Edwards? Edwards looking to land to the body with a nice kick.
If Vera has the energy, he should push the pace here. That would be my advice if I were in his corner. Edwards charging in now with a nice 1-2. Going big looping hooks. Vera pulls him into his close guard here, flirting with that with a possible triangle, but Edwards showing nice posture here, staying out of trouble.
Nice wide base with the legs. Jason Edwards controlling Ness Vera here in the second round.
Vera gonna hit that up and over sweep, and he does, lands right in the mount.
Tremendous technique for Ness Vera. Picks
Vera
up
now.
Tremendous position here.
Vera raining down on Edwards now. Edwards trying to sit up and get out of this mount, but that is not the technical way to do it. He's got to either get on his side and get to half guard or bridge and roll.
Big right hands and left hands coming here from Ness Vera.
Gives up his back, reads a scramble, back into mount. Referee not going to let this go much longer here. He's got to show signs.
Close. Jason Edwards flat on the mat here. Oh, beautiful right hands.
I think Edwards cannot escape this mount. Referee's going to stop this fight any second.
Not a lot of hip movement at all from Jason Edwards. Ness Vera stomping a mud hole here.
Referee's going to let it go to the third round. They need to make that horn a little louder for the round because some people are thinking the fight's over.
The crowd out of control here. They're going to make an announcement. This fight will not continue unless everybody takes their seat.
Take your... It's going to be an interesting round 3 here. I mean, I had a feeling Edwards would be tired. He ended up on bottom and could not escape. Vera was unable to get the finish.
Very confusing end to the second round there. The crowd getting involved here. Security trying to establish order. Ring announcer Jim Fitzgerald getting ready to step in the cage. This fight will not continue unless everybody gets back to their seats. And this delay perhaps adding a little bit of gas to the tank of Jason Edwards.
This delay is really benefiting Edwards. I feel that he was the more fatigued of the two fighters. And he's getting a nice little breather here.
Fight fans, may I have your attention, please, real quick. The fight is still happening. We still have a third round, but the inspectors told us if any of the fans from either of the fighters come up to the cage, both fighters will be suspended. We've got one more round, guys. Here we go!
All right, third and final round here. Jason Edwards, Ness Vera in a back and forth war here. Jason Edwards taking the earlier frame. Perhaps Ness Vera taking the second. Kevin Widows, how do you have the fight scored so far?
I think it's 1-1. This third round is going to tell everything we need to know about who's going to be the winner.
Now, Kevin, were either one of those rounds dominant enough to get the 10-8 on the scorecard, making this third round fight, perhaps this third round, perhaps not even necessary for the winner?
I think, but round one could have been a 10-8 for Edwards. Round two could have been a 10-8 for Vera.
Absolutely, this is going to be a great fight. Cannot wait to see how it ends here. Ness Vera, Jason Edwards, here we go. Nice left hand from Vera. But he's starting to get a mouse underneath the right eye as well.
Yeah, Vera showing a lot of wear under that right eye. Throwing some nice leg kicks here. Edwards throwing big left hook, big right hook, misses. Oh, lands with a big left. Vera in big trouble here.
Jason Edwards again looking to land those big bombs. I don't think he's thrown a jab yet in this fight, Kevin.
A nice check leg kick there by Edwards too.
But again, you see breathing out of the mouth. Jason Edwards absolutely exhausted here. Looking for that one hitter quitter.
Nice low leg kick there by Edwards.
Ness Vera throwing, just trying to touch his opponent here. Oh, he got him with a left and a right hand. That right hand really turned the chin of Edwards.
Vera's got to end up on top here if it goes to the ground. Oh, and he does. Bad news for Edwards. Vera is back in the mount.
Not the real estate that Jason Edwards wants to occupy here, and that's going to be it. George Gallegos has seen enough.
What a fight. Neither of these men have anything to be ashamed about. Great performance from both fighters. Edwards left it all in the cage, just ended up on bottom and had no answer for the mount.
Great show of sportsmanship there too by Ness Vera. Unbelievable first fight here at Spar MMA. Jason Edwards absolutely exhausted. Amazing effort in defeat. This young man really put it all on the line. Get a look at the replay now.
Edwards completely exhausted now, unable to get up off the mat.
It was that beautiful short right hand that turned the chin.
Was that, I couldn't see what punch it was, but something rocked Edwards, and then they ended up in that clinch, and Vera was able to get the fight to the ground.
He kind of hit him with that short right hand. It turned his chin, and it almost looked like Edwards was going to look away for a second. And that's when Vera was able to get to the side clinch there, take the fight to the mat. And the inspired ground and pound.
Yeah, Edwards just wasn't showing any sign of being able to get out of that mount. Referee let him slide at the end of round two. He figured it was going to be another minute of that, most likely.
Great show of sportsmanship between these two young men and their corners. Excellent first fight here at Spar MMA. All right, it looks like the guys are ready for the official decision. Let's send it up to Jim Fitzgerald.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 23 seconds of round number 3, referee in charge, George Gallegos, stops the contest in favor of our winner by TKO. He is still undefeated, Ness the Kid Vera!
Ness Vera brings his record, remains undefeated now as an amateur, 2-0